Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is July 19th, 2024, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights today, we're watching the markets sell off almost across the board. But first, looking at today's major economic events. So we start out the day at 2:30 South African time. Out of Canada, they have a monthly retail sales number coming out. Now, looking at the market, starting out with the Forex symbols, the major pairs had that major push higher, but gave up some of those gains and retraced versus the US dollar. And looking at the indices, the Dow Jones sold off considerably, while the NASDAQ continues to slide lower. Now, looking at commodities, gold made a retracement and a sell-off, while oil also tapering lower. Now, looking at the stocks, ironically, the stocks almost all sold off besides Nvidia and Meta that get a bounce. Now, lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin testing that new support. Let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD. Now, it is retracing. The dollar is getting stronger, the euro is getting weaker. But keep in mind that we are testing a supportish level, previous resistance, subsequent support. So this 108.80 to 108.50 is going to be supportish levels. So take a look at it. I may bounce right off of it. But keep in mind, when we look at the GBP USD, it's not even close to its previous resistance, right? It's much stronger. And we mentioned this several times. So I would imagine the British pound would go higher first, okay, between the two pairs. Okay, if it was to test its high again. Now, we may just consolidate. That's a third option that we might see. Now, jumping into commodities, looking at gold. Gold made a big U-turn. Okay, this is a V formation. It's upside down V formation. As quickly as it went up, it almost went down. Okay, but it's going to test this level, and I'd like to see if it does hold it. This is a really critical level for almost all the markets across the board. Now, looking at crude oil, did slide lower. It's bouncing off its supportish level at 82.57 here. Natural gas testing that low once again, 206. Didn't break lower. The 2 round, okay, or just tested the low of it, okay, but this is still a bona fide downwards momentum and downwards trend. Now, jumping into the US market, okay, we're looking at the Dow Jones. So the Dow Jones did have a significant sell-off from 41,647 to 40,856. Now, that is about an 800 point. It's completely natural, especially since we saw so many stocks making new record highs and people just booking their profits. It's the summertime. And with that said, next week is a huge week when it comes to corporate earnings there. So keep that in mind as well. Now, looking at the NASDAQ, also selling off and showing some more weakness. Now, the NASDAQ is going to be much more affected by next week's earning report because all the big tech, Google, Apple, are going to be coming out with their quarterly earning report. So this is a big deal. Now, jumping into the individual stocks, all right? Which stocks got hit the worst? The chip makers. It's AMD, it's NVIDIA, okay? Those big ones, all right? And AMD, look at that. A big gap down and a sell-off from 184 down to 155. That's huge. It's 30 points in less than a week. And you can see that there's a spike with that. Okay, that is a huge thing when there's lots of volume here selling off. Looking at NVIDIA, also sold off to its lows, but NVIDIA got stronger yesterday, okay, holding itself up. If we look at the other major stocks, Facebook was the other one that got clobbered this week, but then got a bounce, okay? So it'd be interesting to see what's going to happen today. JP Morgan, a little bit of a sell-off yesterday, okay? A considerable little bit of a sell-off, okay? From 217 down to 209. That is a considerable sell-off. It is testing its supportish level now, previous resistance. Okay, so we've got a lot of things on previous resistance, subsequent support that's going to be testing today. Now, looking at Bitcoin, okay, we had a little bit of a move upwards. Now, this is a critical point for Bitcoin, right? We said this yesterday. Was it going to be a double top? Okay, or was it going to go back down? Or was it going to break out? It did break out, but didn't sustain it. And now we're going to test it. The question is whether or not it's going to hold it. And if it does it, it's going to go right back down. So keep that in mind. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.